Hello, everybody. Hi, Ayushree.
Hey
Everybody,
Jagat, good morning.
good morning. Good morning to everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. It's a lovely morning here in Bangalore, Saturday morning. So how are you doing, Ayushree?
All good, Jagat. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Akhil as well backstage. You're
Yes,
doing good.
yes.
So how are things going?
All
Today we
good.
have something very interesting also.
Yes, yes, that's what. And I think we did a part of it last time, and seeing the response, and because we thought there's so much more to it, and we can, coach. I mean, talk about some practical tools, like taking it forward from there. And I think so. Yeah, I think we are good to start with today's session and talk about the tools, more concretely today. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to the tools also, but I think today again it's about certain. Today we have a theme,
True.
and that is a theme that kind of evolved. We've been also talking to a lot of founders,
Yeah.
startups,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I do find a common theme, and there is some kind of it seems to be a lot of individual effort, right?
Yeah.
It's something that I'm seeing from a lot of people.
Yeah.
So those are some things that I will look to address today.
Yeah.
And let me just probably share my presentation.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this is what we have today, right? So today we're really talking about, as Ayushli said, the an extension of what we did last time. And really, this is about the first three steps to get started. And yes, one of the steps I would say is about tools, and that we will get to in the end. But before that, I wanted to actually, put a few thoughts across. Before that, a little bit about ourselves, a little bit about us. Uh, we say welcome to the video universe, inspired by India, building for the world. That's really what our core mission or strength comes from. A bunch of I would say industry leading projects right now across video surveillance, healthcare, the virtual presence devices, as well as Vidphone, of course, which is enterprise grade video. So that's a little bit about us, a little bit about me. So uh, Jagat, I run I'm the founder and CEO here at Every Crave and also Vidphone. So I'm an engineer at heart. Always love building things. Past 15 years, I would say, across tech, business, and other sectors. Not only just business, but I love cricket, I love golf, I love playing music. So that's a little about me. We also have a wonderful team. Ayushree also is with us, Akhil, along with some of our early investors, right? So also backed by NASCOM. We also raised money from the government of India, sorry, the government of Karnataka from their Elevate Fund. Hopefully, the government of India soon. So if anyone's listening, this is where some of that budget can come. Um, a little more. Okay, just coming to a quick recap, right? So previous session, uh, what we spoke about are five things, and that's basically a mindset of from why to why not. We spoke about some goal setting, the importance of having positive motivation to do to build startups. Second, third is also team building, which I think I will talk about today a little bit also. The hybrid toolkit, why the tools that you use today are simply not enough to kind of cope with the new market, right? It's all about hybrid, it's remote, and how do organizations adapt? I think the scenario in the US as well, with the biggest banks, and of course now in Europe with Credit Suisse, it shows that there is something seriously wrong with the entire process, and it's time to address that, not only through conversation but also through the tools. And most importantly, we're talking about this brand new web, the brand new internet, the Web 3.0 or Web 3, whatever you might call it. It's really about power networks, right? So everybody has access to the internet, but even in the internet, you will have class hierarchies, and we're talking about some of those intricate points as well. So now let's get into action, right? What exactly are these first three steps? And many times I think that the first step is the hardest, to find your way, right? Uh, the first step really is to know that this is where you want to be going. And when we say that, there are really three things, right? So number one, we're talking about 0 to 1 CR. Now, and we're talking 1 CR in terms of revenue, not in terms of valuation or profit. We're talking specifically top line. So when we get to, the definition of what is a company, the dictionary, or even the internet will define it as, one, a commercial business, and two is more important, which is the fact or condition of being with another or others, especially in a way that provides friendship and enjoyment. Now, I've always felt this way about companies, probably because my dad's into corporate law, and it's we always spoken about balance sheets on the breakfast table, looking at stocks of companies. I think the concept of company is something that has not kind of transcended to the Indian mindset and probably globally, right? We associate mostly with proprietorships. It's all about a one person out there, kind of doing everything, and that's not really the power of a company. The company really is an entity that's formed by different people, where it has a brand voice of its own. It has a kind of, it has a personality of its own. And that concept is very, very important to understand, is to really find or to found your company. The reason I started my company back in 2010, I would say, or even 2008, was not because we wanted to make $1 billion or a unicorn or whatever, but I think it was really about having a place for myself to work, right? I worked at Dell, Aviva, few companies, and very quickly I found that there was no place that I felt really that I could, spend a lot of my time. And that's really why we started the company, to be probably very naive way of starting, but that's honestly or authentically what it was. And eventually we go on to build these products. So really to find going back, if I found a kind of company like ours where I could work, I would not go and start another company. I would be very clear about that. So, our company is really a company that I probably are building, and we are building with all of us, to build what we didn't have, right? And what would be ideal. So that's, I think, very important to understand, mainly from a tax standpoint as well. If you make 1 CR into your savings account, like, you get the money into your savings account, you're going to pay 30% of that straight to the government, in terms of tax. And also, I think with 1 CR, there will be significant surcharge as well. So it's not at all the right way to think about, making your first 1 CR. I think you do really want to do it through a company. If you're not founding, if you're not starting a company yourself, because it's really tough, you have to join a company that really is in line with your values and really cares for you. I think that's important to do. So once you do that, I think the route becomes a lot more quicker, right? So number one is to find or found your company. And today it's easier than ever to start a company if you wanted to, or if you want to join a company. Of course, you can join our company. You just have to write to me, and we could figure out a way to work together. Uh, and the other important thing is that today, whatever the market salary that people are willing to pay you, is also that you need cross-functional skills, complementary skills to take you to the next level, right? So that you will typically find in a company. So associate with the right company, I think, is the number one step. And many people are doing this in a very dispersed way, where they're not leveraging the strengths. So I think this is the number one step, or the first of three steps probably, to kind of get started. The second is to find or found your market. Why I say found your market, sometimes you do new categories. And so we talk about that later. So the basic point is that you have to do something that you love, right? It's probably oversaid. Everyone from Steve Jobs to your neighbor will say the same thing. But I would say that doing something that you love is and finding that process, finding that passion is the most important. So a simple way that I look at that is, if I had to do this for 2 years without getting any money at all from it, would I do it? Right? If the answer is no, then you probably need to be searching. If the answer is yes, that you find something that you like to do for the next 2 years without getting paid, that would be a thing. But also, it has to find an alignment with the market, right? You can't say I like to sleep and I want to sleep for 2 years. So no one's going to pay you for that. But maybe some mattress companies would pay you, but that's a different thought. But you have to find something that the market's willing to pay you as well, right? So one of the ways to think about this today, because we have a very crowded market, most of the ideas are kind of done, and there really is no big venture capital economy. A venture capital vibrancy that we see. So a big way to look at this is to think untech, right? Uh, think about what are those things that is happening outside of what we do already on the internet that can be improved through the internet, right? So this is a way to probably think about it, and that's probably how you will get to a kind of visibility of 1 CR, because going from 0 to 1 know that the markets are already established and they're kind of set in their ways. And to think that you're going to go from 0 to 1 very quickly is not that ideal. What you want to be thinking about is where is the market that I can go and probably that's not tapped, and then move that, right? So these are the two fundamental things. I think if you want to look at really looking at 10 times your income or doubling your income, I think number one, you have to think of one, to think company, and two, think of a market that's really untapped, and where you want to go, right? So these are two things. The third uh, is about finding your voice and the tools, right? Uh, Today, I think we all know, a lot of people say that data, but I think it's all about attention today. We live in the attention economy, and it's driven by influencers. So it's only a question of how, to the degree to which some influencer is, like how influential Elon Musk versus somebody who's in Jharkhand. The difference is about degree in the influence. The person in Jharkhand also can influence a significant population, and especially in a country like India, if you look at the whole of Chhattisgarh, I think that would be pretty big, right? So we live in a attention economy driven by influencers. So people buy from people. The new economy is all about trust. Uh, while we do say it's trustless, it is assumed that trust is there everywhere, and that's what it really means. It doesn't mean there is no trust. It means a full trust economy where you really don't doubt the other person. And what we have seen since 2020, most importantly, and aligns with our whole kind of mission, is video is the highest form of communication today. And the whole world was run by telephones for a long time, and then we had the internet, with email and stuff like this. But the way video has transformed the world, nothing has. So every business today, we say, is a face business, right? If you think of Tesla, you think of a particular face. If you think of Apple, you think of a particular face. If you think of your friend who's running a startup, when you say that startup, you think of a face. So it's what we believe is the rise of personality marketing, and one needs to understand this brand new, I would say, channel to be able to unlock new money. So we call it rise of personality marketing. Business is equal to communication plus customers. So as all of business happens when there are two parties or two sides that meet upon a particular need for a particular price, right? So that's when a transaction happens. Otherwise, it's just shouting into the open. Only when two different parties meet, and that means communication. So as I was saying before, the business world saw great changes when the phone was used for business, and then when the internet started being used. So now it's really about how video is going to transform this world in a way that even the internet probably did not do. I would say the scale of just the internet would be, today we'd see 100 times more on video going forward, right? So in terms of video communications, two broad ways in which you would think about it. One is internal communications, mainly communication within your organization or people that you already know, like your partners and vendors. uh, for a long time, it was mainly text and voice based, right? Phone calls did the job most of the time, and to have something on paper, email did the job. Now, since 2020, we've seen increased video, but the problem is that it's only scheduled and that it is only synchronous, which means both need to be available at the same time. Video has that problem. Phone, I can take it from anywhere, even while driving, but not always easy to do that on video. So what's really important now is to look at new tools, and these tools that already exist that many of you may use and we also use sometimes. It also has proven to cause fatigue and a lot of issues also with the overall anxiety and all of this stuff. So we really need to look at new tools. So we have tried some of these in our company. uh, the first one being Vmail. So if you want to do the video, you want the emotion and the full-fledged communication of video, but you want asynchronous at the same time, which means you want to take your time to respond, right? You want to get some opinion before you do that. Vmail is the way to do that. So simply said, it's like a mix of video conferencing and email, which gives you the best of both, right? Then you have the virtual office, what we call the virtual HQ. It's really an always on office on video. Unlike sending scheduled meeting links to and fro, vidphone.me/office, for example, you could just go into your office that's always there 24/7. Not that you work 24/7, but anytime you can check in and meet your colleagues and have very, very casual conversations as well. Now, the big change is about external communications. And as we said, business is about communication plus, most importantly, customers. Business exists if there is customers, and this is a big challenge today for hybrid organizations, companies who want to work remote. It's great that the employees want to work remote, but how are you getting customers to actually buy from you remotely, right? And we see that the existing tools simply don't make the cut. Simply said, I can't video call a business today. I can phone call a business, I can email a business, I can even drop into their office, but I cannot press a button and video call a business today. So there's no video customer touch point. Also, the whole sales CRM is designed for pre-video economy, right? You met someone at an event, you had a few cards, you put those cards in the CRM, and then you nurture those customers. But today, a lot of your customers are coming through webinars. And what is the exact, customer funnel or the sales funnel that we have for that? How are we accounting for email marketing in this new context? How is advertising done in this context? What are the payment mechanisms? Can you take a payment while you're video chatting with someone, right? So with Vidpay, you can actually take payments right inside. Advanced analytics, and of course, video meetings and webinars with the right automation. So it's really about providing this full stack for customer development or customer generation, and that's where Vidphone really comes in. So what we're talking about is a single tool for business success in the hybrid era, right? It's really probably we're building something that we want for ourselves as much as other people, other founders, that when we speak to, they say, oh, this is exactly what I want, right? So what I do is now take you through a quick demo of what we have. Of course, I will not, probably go too deep into the demo, but just run you through a little bit of what we've done. So as you can see, there's a brand new website. It's a brand new design. We call it the Hybrid Work Suite for customer generation, an all-in-one platform, for growing your sales, marketing, support, and employee engagement from anywhere. And I would also say anytime. So that's really what it's about. It's about bringing together your demand, lead, and your customer generation all in one place, right? You can plan, promote your webinars, measure them, iterate on them, and improve on them. So you could go through the website. I'll just quickly log in. Probably logged into my support ID. So I'll just I wasn't logged in here, so it was incognito. So this is really what the dashboard looks like, right? So we've tried to bring together what matters to a startup, what matters to a business in one place, which is all about, I would say, the leads and what are the kind of leads we're generating. What's the top level impressions? Where are all our customers seeing us? We also look at the webinars and meetings, which are forming the core of any business's digital strategy, right? So we also have permanent meeting rooms. So you could just click here. I will just give you a quick glimpse. You could open, for example, we have vidphone.me/room/vidphone. It's like a permanent meeting room. So in case you came to our office, there would be our meeting room right there. So trying to really replicate that. I won't get into this because I'm already on the webinar, but you could try it out. So every company gets its own, or every department or everyone gets their own meeting room. A virtual office, one of, I think, something very, very interesting. So you could take a look. This is what it looks like for internal communications, right? So you could just take a seat here, and your friends could join you on the office. You could just pull anybody into a conversation very, very quickly, and you could have replicate that. Those who miss the office, I would say this is the next best option for all of you, the Vidphone Virtual HQ or the virtual office. Now, on the left side here, you could see meetings, webinars, and messaging. These are the communications suite. This is the communications components, really about video mail, which we call webinars and meetings. So getting all your communication on video in one place. And that's really, what Vidphone's about. As you can see here, a lot of email being exchanged, a lot of, examples, a lot of tests going on. So it's something that's getting a lot of attention from, our users. Now, coming to the rocket science, I would say. So, okay, we got meetings, video mail, and webinars all in one place. You got a beautiful virtual HQ there, which is way more advanced, I would say, than having scheduled video meetings back and forth. But now we come to the real rocket science, and I love this. And this is something that we kind of built completely in-house here. There is no company in the world today that actually has anything even close to what we have in the advanced suite. So, number one, I would say, really starts with video CRM. Now, as I said, the CRM customer is the most important aspect of a business. And when you look at this with the video CRM, you get all of your leads generated through your webinars, your appointments, your video meetings. You can kind of get all of that into one place, one elegant place where all of them are listed. You could perform the next actions with them, to call them to a meeting, or share something, and really craft really basically have a one place or a one dashboard from where you could really look at your customer generation. uh, the second is, of course, the video marketing automation. Now, video marketing automation, now marketing automation software comes at probably $999 per month, which I think is very expensive for companies to get started, especially startups and smaller departments. So you could really go to our VMA, or video marketing automation. You could create uh, you know customized customer journeys and funnels. This is really by automating all of the emails and the emails that you send to them post maybe a webinar or the first interaction, right? So uh, typically a sale, that you would say that it requires about 6 interactions before you meet somebody, or the first exposure till the transaction. So this is a kind of statistic. And just doing a webinar and expecting them to close a sale is not the way to do it, right? So they would probably see a webinar, they would probably see one or two more pieces, and then they would get interested, and then your customer is ready to buy. So you're able to craft all of those interactions in one place. And I think that's the power of the video marketing automation that we have. Coming to the scheduler, so vidphone.me/schedule/Jagat, or schedule slash whatever might be your brand, or your name. This is really about Calendly plus a video communication solution in one place, right? So you want to give your set of times availability. People can book your time, and you get conferencing built in. This is very, very useful for customer generation, to be able to get more and more appointments to kind of fill your calendar up. And of course, the video bot, right? So there, as I said, there is no way today for a customer to video chat with the business, and we found this to be a big problem. So when you look at the Vidphone website, right at the bottom here, we have this video chat bot where you could just click a button and directly you could video call or voice call the sales or support teams, right? So if you have a website today and you're not getting any inquiries, here is a way to actually start getting inquiries almost immediately. You can also set auto triggers, and we have a whole bunch of deep functionality here. You could go ahead and configure triggers and go ahead. So I would encourage you to try it out. We also have the widget, which can be completely customized. We have a red widget there because that's really the color of Vidphone, and we love red. So you could have pretty much any color there. So you could go with, I don't know, blue, or whatever you like. So that's really what this is about, the video scheduler and the video bot. So with this, what we believe is you bring together your entire team, your customers, as well as your potential leads and your community, right? So that's really about the kind of tools that we're talking about. The single tool for business success. I would say, just log in, or sign up if you haven't signed up already with phone.me. And yep, we're always available for a chat. You can. That's my phone number. That's my email address. Please feel free to, you can even come down and meet me. I sit out of the NASCOM 10,000 startups warehouse. So super excited. I hope this has been of use to all of you. Look forward to handling your support queries.
Yeah, lovely, Jagat. I think, we had a good all-round view of what we have, and also what you covered earlier. I would like to, before we move on to some questions, and thank you, Rana, Ram, Akhil, Vijay, Venu, for joining us, and, going through this with us. So, Jagat, we also have some questions from the people who have joined us. These are questions we have pre-received. So we'll go to them. But before that, I was just thinking, what you spoke about branding and personal branding, because I think that's also very important in today's the kind of a world we are in, right? Like the content we put out as a brand, I think every business needs to think a lot about the content, we are putting out. I mean, that's very important. That's a huge part. We might think that it's one of the things we can maybe push or do later. But I think that engagement and your personal branding and your thought leadership and your company's branding, I mean, both should in a way go hand in hand. And I feel that's a point, I really thought we should stress upon, and see what other founders also feel about it. But I think that is a little important thing. So maybe we can go to some questions, Jagat.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Raina. That's really kind.
Yeah, so we have enabled the raise hand also, in case any one of you want to come and ask your question. But maybe we'll take the question from Vijay Jagat, and he's here with us. Which one is best online marketing or offline marketing tool? I think he means that, yeah.
Well, I would say, I would ask that question, which is important, breakfast or dinner? So you need both. So the way I look at it really is, in everything in life, it's not about one thing, right? So, and even if you're doing online marketing, I think there is going to be competition, and you have to look at ways to stand out. If you're doing offline, you also have that element, because people need to connect with you as a person. Sometimes it depends on your stage of business. You may still use Facebook, though you may not meet Mark Zuckerberg. But if you're a much smaller community, and then you would probably associate with a founder that you know. So there are cases when online, and certain cases offline. It probably even depends on the kind of business. But
Yeah.
typically, I would say that's what hybrid today is about, a mix between the two, right? It's all about the right mix, right? So it's really about, like they say when you cook, the swad anusar, right? It really depends on how much you want it to be offline, how much you want it to be online. If you want to do higher ticket size, typically it's more offline. If you want to do lower ticket size, typically it's more online, like very generally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
So
this
the
question for SaaS? You want to take that one also?
Yeah,
Sunil?
yeah, that's Sunil. So we can take that one too,
Yeah.
and
No, I wouldn't, Sunil. So I don't think it's only for SaaS. It's for any business. And today, like for example, personality marketing, what you can call, or it's even Zuckerberg uses, or even Elon Musk uses it to sell cars, and so does, I would say, Ritesh Agarwal to sell Oyo. So I think it's not about SaaS alone. SaaS, of course, I would say it becomes lesser personality marketing because of the online nature of invites and everything. But this is applicable to all businesses, because today people look. What's the problem with public companies, right? The thing is about trust. Sometimes we think we trust public companies more, but look at the companies. Do you trust really a Google or a Facebook? We don't trust those companies. So that's the whole problem, and that's all about the founder's vision sometimes, and that establishes the trust. So I think that's how we look at it.
yeah. So we have another question, Jagat, from Rana, and she's with us here. So she has asked, how does one scale up? And Rana, if you want to add anything to the question, please feel free to use the raise hand and come and chat with us, like in case you want to elaborate on that. Yeah. So she's here. I'll just. Uh, yeah, she had come in. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. If you want, I'll take that in. I mean, or you can just get it in.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I think you have another tab open. Maybe there's a parallel.
Uh, I don't have any device open with me.
I mean, on the Chrome itself, maybe it's open twice.
Okay, I'll move on. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but there's a lot of feedback. So I think she has another Chrome tab open.
Yeah,
Maybe you
I
have
think
another
on
Chrome
the
tab.
system only you have another Chrome tab open. You just have to
Ah, okay,
shut that.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
I mean that's better, right?
Mm, okay, what I'll do is I'll put it on chat. That's fine.
Nice to see
I'll
you.
just write the question and you can answer that, okay? Because I can't figure out
Yes.
the tabs now. I'll cut off this call.
Yeah, you can cut that, Ayushree. Thanks. Thanks. It's great to
Yeah,
see you, Rana. I think so. What happens sometimes, because we are browser based, sometimes there are two tabs open parallelly, and then there's a lot of feedback when the other tab also is open.
yeah,
So it's one of the small price we pay for being secure. But yeah, we take that.
yeah. We'll just
I know.
yeah.
But really, thanks for joining it. We really appreciate it. all of these people joining us. Do you know the question, by any chance? What she was asking?
Yeah, she was asking about scaling up, but I was just
There's a demo for us to take through the automation. Sure.
yeah.
So yeah, we could definitely connect, and scaling is one setups. Hmm.
Yeah, her question is that, and then there was the demo. So Raina will surely run you through. We'll connect sometime soon, and we can set up something for you. But her question, Jagat, is
Hmm.
scaling
Sure.
business on the platform. I think, yeah,
Yeah, got it. I got it. So
yeah,
definitely. So Vidphone is built for scale. So that's the whole idea. So the whole idea of sometimes, I also discussed with Ayushree, and so this is also by Nick Cosmin from salesprocess.io, where he talks about video sales letters. So when we do a webinar and we're talking about something, it's basically us talking one to one with everybody who sees our webinar. Every single viewer, we're almost able to maintain as much a one-on-one connection, and that's, and you don't need to be going door to door to do that. And that's the whole disruption that we see. It's almost as good as knocking on somebody's door and talking to them about the product. So when you use the Vidphone, be it a Vmail or be it a webinar that you do at scale, it's really about dispersing that. One time we do this, and then it's available 24/7, like for a long, long time for people to consume. So it's built for scale. And even when you look at a lot of cases of support, many times people may have to come to the office, or you may have to give in-person support. So a lot of that also gets reduced when you have video enabled support, right? So yeah, everything from linemen to plumbing to so many cases, like people who are doing interior business, all of them, they could just video the situation, and then it goes out. So even in real estate we see that happening. Thank you. I'd love to know next time, probably when you join us, Raina, would love to have you, also share about your business and what you do.
yes,
Would love to do that.
yeah,
So I hope that explains the power of video and why we do this. Sure.
yeah, yeah. I can see Megha and Vijeta. Thanks, Megha and Vijeta, for joining us.
Yes, Vijayta, wonderful to have you. I know that you're having a lot of very, very busy meetings. Thanks for coming in. You could also please join us on video if you can. Uh,
Yeah,
Mega as well. It was a wonderful session last time she did. So
yeah.
yes, all right, Vijayta, I'll leave you to focus on your reviews.
Uh-huh.
But pleasure to
So
have you
any
with
other
us.
questions? Yeah. Any more questions? Anyone? You can take.
Totally understand.
Yeah.
So I think that's good for now. We wanted to keep it about 35-40 minutes. Ram, nice to
Right.
see you as well.
Yes.
So actually, that was what we had in mind. I think
Yeah.
today was like the first kind of glimpse. We'd probably do few more where we actually get to each feature, and then we're able to
True.
say this is the use case. So
Yeah.
if
And
you're
how
a
can it
business that
actually?
wants to work on demand gen, very top of the funnel, you would do that, or the lead
Yeah.
gen, or the sales conversion. So I think probably soon we get there. So thanks, Vijeta. Thanks,
Yes.
Raina, for those questions. Vijay, Ram, and Megha, Akhil, of course. So really, really wonderful to have all of you. And thanks, Ayushree,
Yes.
for putting this together and everything.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining, and chat with a few of you soon. Thank you everyone. Yeah. Have a good
Thank you.
weekend. Thanks, Jagat. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.